Once upon a time, there was a young calculus student named Eunice. She didn't study very hard because she thought she knew everything about calculus. One day, she walked into class and the teacher announced that they were having a pop quiz on integrals.
OMG, I'm so bomb at calculus. I'm going to ace this test.
Here are your tests. Good luck. You'll need it.
LOL, I'm a boss. Luck is for scrubs.
Eunice looked down at her test and froze in horror. Eunice was terrified. She had no idea how to solve an integral where one of the limits of integration was infinity. She started to cry.
Oh no! I am stuck! This can't be right, but I don't know how to fix it! Ah!
Suddenly, a little creature appeared on the edge of Eunice's desk.
Hey, who are you?
My name is not important. What is important is that I can help you.
How could you help me? This problem's impossible!
That's what you think. I know a way to solve it 100% correctly.
How? Please tell me. I'll fail without it.
I will, but first, I need something from you in return.
Anything. Just help me, please.
I want the A you get on the final exam. For this, I will help you.
Of course. But how?
Here is a magical calculwand called a TI-89. With this calculwand, you can solve any question you can imagine.
Thank you, magic little man.
Remember our deal.
And with that, the little man disappeared. Eunice finished the quiz with the calculwand and handed it in with time to spare. A week later, Mrs. Maples handed back Eunice's perfect quiz.
Great job, Eunice. I'm impressed. I know that you will be ready for the unit test tomorrow.
The next day, Eunice sat down for the unit test feeling very prepared. But written at the very top of the paper in large letters that were impossible to miss were the words, "No calculwands." Eunice panicked, but before she could do more than break her pencil in frustration, the little man appeared again.
What's going on, Eunice? Why so upset? Didn't you study?
I did, but I didn't think we wouldn't be allowed to have those handy-dandy calculons with us. I don't know what to do now.
Well, I could be persuaded to help you out again. As long as you still promise to give me the A on your final exam.
But I need that A. Couldn't I give you something else instead?
Alright. If you can guess how to write these integrals correctly before the final exam, then you can keep your A. But for this test, you're on your own. Mwahaha.
What if I just tried to guess your name instead?
No, that's too easy. My name is Rumpelstintegral. Anyone should be able to figure that out.
Rumpelstintegral disappeared. Eunice was very sad, but now she was very determined. She walked up to the teacher and handed in her test blank.
I promise I will know how to solve this before the final exam.
That night, she sat down with a pencil and paper and wrote furiously. She tried solving the integral with a really big number instead of infinity, but it didn't work. Then she tried plugging in infinity, but her answer was infinity, and she knew that couldn't be right. She was very frustrated.
I think I need to go after school for extra help.
The next day, Eunice stayed after school to get help from Mrs. Maples.
Welcome, Eunice. You can sit here with Petunia and Archibald, and you can all work together.
Eunice, Petunia, and Archibald worked very hard on their integrals. They mastered integration by parts, Euler's method, and partial fractions, but then they tried tackling integrals where the upper limit was infinity. Hey, I think this integral is highly improper.
I agree. Let's call it an improper integral.
That's a smashing idea. But what should we do with it?
I have an idea. What if we wrote the integral as a limit? Then that way, when we find the antiderivative, we only have to evaluate it as it approaches infinity. That should work, right?
That's brilliant. But what if there's a vertical asymptote? What then?
Then we can split it into two integrals. one from A to B and one from B to C, and use the same concept. It's brilliant. You guys are the best.
Look at you all. What a team. And you know what team stands for? Together, everyone achieves more.
Eunice left the extra help session feeling very confident about improper integrals. She knew she was going to beat Rumpelstintegral at his own game. When she walked into the classroom for the final exam, she saw that he was waiting for her on her desk.
So, Eunice, figured out how to deal with those integrals yet? You got 3 guesses.
Well, you could try evaluating them with a really big number.
Not wrong! Try again!
Or you could try using a calculator.
Even wronger! Try again!
Or you could write them as a limit.
No! You guessed right! Now I'll never get my A!
With a pop and a poof of smoke, Rumpelstintegral disappeared. Eunice got an A on her final exam, passed calculus, and lived happily ever after.